All right, welcome to Stand Up. You got me and Fede here holding down the fort. Fede was in a tournament this weekend and paddleball.
Yeah,
Didn't turn out.
I'm playing
Just
another this weekend, so hopefully
you
it,
can
it's
get
better.
retribution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played volleyball. My knees just like um,
Oh,
super bothered. So I have like this, let's see, is this bump still there? I have a bump on my knee. So it's like a cyst or something on my knee.
yeah.
I used to have a bump on my wrist. I don't know if it was my right or left wrist,
Mm.
and it was called a Bible bump. So they call it that because people would get that they take a Bible and they'd smash it. They'd smash the cyst on their, which I actually did. I took a thick book and I smashed it. It's gone now, but it looks like now it's moved on my knee.
All
So now
right.
I got.
Yeah.
I,
Good
I don't
medicine.
want to. I don't want to take a Bible to my knee though. So and then I played basketball yesterday, and I need to just step on my game. I just the sun just beats you up. I just need to. My jump shot's just not dropping like I want it to, so I got to drive. My drive's not bad. I can get to the rim. Either I get fouled or I get a layup. So I just need to just channel my inner Michael Jordan and just go in there and try to dunk on these fools. Oh,
Yeah.
layups.
I also went to a fair yesterday. I bought some things to put in my background.
Nice. What is
I don't know.
that?
It's just a friend that takes photo and then had some edits with people with faces from like different animals. So that's a giraffe.
Giraffe.
And I have this other one that's near the beach.
And
Oh,
that's
the blur is killing me. Let me remove the blur here. Should virtual background. No, that's a
a
cat.
cat. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna
Is he
put.
using, you got, yeah, you have background
Yeah,
images. Is he using I'm guessing he's really good at Photoshop.
yeah. It's a she, but yeah, I don't
Oh
know
shit.
what she uses, but yeah, she's a photographer, but she likes to do these things. So yeah,
Cool. Maybe she'll become super famous and then those will
yeah.
be some worth some money. All right. So we were talking about Haley and latency issues. You found that so our architecture is you hit the you hit our Slackbot application, and then it goes and makes a call to our billing backend. Our Slackbot application we had set to minimum one. We bumped it to two. That didn't do anything because we weren't scaling up the backend in time. So like it was hitting the front. And it's because we don't have distributed tracing yet. Hits the front, and then that will go through. But then the request is blocking to billing, right? So what is the call to billing? It's just checking to see if they're within quota.
To the backend, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just to see if the quota and to get like we need to get the bot token to be able to answer to your Slack workspace. So and yeah, some more information we need.
Okay. So we'll add some distributed tracing, then we can see what's going on. Now we're seeing that even though we're scaling up both, which we still once you get a chance, but just have that line in for minimum scaling, just set it to one. And then I'm also going to set Haley to one also. So actually, yeah, set both of them to one because we tried
Okay.
two because we're like, oh, maybe two would help. That wasn't the case. So we'll set to
Okay.
one for both, and then we'll do distributed tracing. We'll be able to figure out where the latency is being spent, and wherever the most latency is being spent, we'll fix it. Now, if the latency is an API call to OpenAI and it's taking 10, 20, 30 seconds, then we need to figure out uh, a different API to use, because
Yeah.
if it's going to take that long, it's just not very usable.
Yeah, and I guess
All right,
even GPT-4 will be slower.
slower,
If,
yeah.
yeah.
So it shouldn't be that slow though, because if I just say hi, if I go into ChatGPT, here I'll just say hi, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Yeah, 3 seconds on ChatGPT for 4.0. Oh no, that was 3.5. Let me try 4.0. So if I say hi, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. So 4 seconds,
Yeah.
something's happening on our end, right? Granted, they're not doing some sort of optimized path that they're hitting and not using their own API, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I will check.
Okay, let's see. On my end, I got the Kindle book is published. Let me share the
Nice.
link here. Give me a second. I'm gonna work on the paperback, which will be cheaper. Like the price of the hardback is just kind of too high. $20 for children's books too high, but and I'm talking about like I'm making $1 or something per print. It's all Amazon taking all the money. So maybe I can have cheaper, much cheaper if it's paperback. But even there, I'm using like glossy paper, color, so it's still like expensive.
Mm.
Super Pals. So okay, let me share this link. Of course, it's affiliate link, so I can get more money than Amazon gets. But the price is still the same. Let me put it on the banner. No comments. Okay, and then I can highlight. So there's the link. And then I'll add. So the problem now is, I was like, okay, I'll just take the doc file that I have from the hardback, send it over, and then it started complaining about like all my pictures were also too far on the margin. So I have to go through each picture, bring it in, then I can have the paperback version. And then I might look into a little bit of like how to best market it. But I'm gonna shift focus. I'm gonna start working on semantic search. So me and you have a meeting with Yura or Com True's code name to discuss what he's done so far, and then I'll start. I guess I need to reset up my dev setup and stuff. So I might have to hit you up for re-getting that going, because I did have it set up before. I think I had it on my other laptop. So I was actually going to give that laptop to my dad, because his I bought him actually I didn't buy it from him. Went to Google I/O back in like 2012, 2013. They gave us Pixel tablets, not
Oh,
tablets,
nice.
laptops, like
Yeah.
$1,000. They gave it to like everybody that went to the thing. He's still been using that same laptop, for
Oh, yeah.
11 years or so.
Long time.
And the problem is they stopped doing updates for that laptop.
Oh.
So he can't update Chrome. It's Chromebook, right? So they
Mhm.
stopped updating the Chromebook. So certain websites stopped working. They're like, yeah, this is too old of a version of Chrome for us to support. So I was going to give him that laptop, but if I have my whole dev set up on there, he might have to wait a while. So today I'll try to set up the dev setup, get Haley Raj back and operational, and then yeah, kind of plan out what I want to do for the semantic search. Tomorrow I'm meeting with the the folks from what's the name of that company that I'm working with? Let me check the calendar. It is Impact. So Impact's like the ones with all the different partners and affiliates and stuff like that. So we'll get going with them. We still have a little bit of work to do to make it so Haley, start to end is fast, easy to use, quick to sign up, that sort of thing. And I also need to still do user testing. So I've got 3, 4 people lined up that'll have them come over for dinner and drinks and stuff, and I'll just watch them do the install process and get feedback. So I'm probably not looking at a legitimate launch till maybe next week. But then, these are all like soft launches, right? We just put it out there. The real launch will be when we have our partners start to sell our stuff, right?
Right.
And I'm also going to put our stuff on. I've been waiting for it to be super tight in terms of the entire experience before we put it on like Product Hunt. And there's a bunch of other different websites that you can go to and say like, hey, I'm releasing this software. What do you guys think? So once we have it super smooth and feels like it's high quality, then we'll do an official launch. We're ready to take money. So
Yeah, I am.
yeah. Okay. Anything else on your side?
No, not much.
Okay. Oh, another thing I did on the weekend was I did a cloud scheduler, which I think we don't need if once we fix the min scaling. So I
Oh,
tried to
yeah.
do so it was useless actually because my path would hit Haley master, but then that wasn't triggering a call to the billing backend. So it wasn't
Right.
warming up the whole assembly line, right? So I'm just going to delete it because otherwise it's just like every minute sending a ping, but
Hmm.
it's not doing anything. So way to figure out the problem there. And in fact, I'll delete that now. It's called, by the way, Cloud Scheduler is pretty cool. It's simple, easy to use.
It's like a cron shop, something like that.
Yeah, it's a cron job. So I'm going to delete that now. Here I can show you what I have. Let me share my screen. Share screen. Yeah, back in the day, I was thinking like, what would be a cool little project to work on? And it was something like, oh, I'll do like a cloud cron job. Just like you set up crons, that'll hit something. But Google did a pretty good job with theirs. So here I have the Haley warm up. Description, frequency every minute. You can do whatever regex or this is called. This is a Unix cron format for time. Every minute. And then in here you can say what type, hit switch. So I was just trying to hit the events thing with a post.
Yeah.
So even though it's gonna be a bad request, it will still warm it up, right? So
Yeah.
And optional settings, you can do like retries and stuff. So if it fails, back off. And a deadline. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is figure out how to delete this thing. Delete. So I can pick this, delete.
Easy.
So easy peasy. App and cron jobs. So, all right, let me go down my list of stuff. So you let me know when I should start. When I should personally go and do the end-to-end testing. You have an estimate of when you think you'll be able. Like, what cards do you have teed up?
I was thinking of doing the prompt after you install, but it's hard to do it. But because when we redirect to our website after the app installation, the user is not logged in, so we don't know if they have a subscription or not. So we shouldn't prompt there, and we don't need the login to like save the app installation info. That's why we don't request you to be logged in to install the app. So I don't know how I'm going to do that.
Can you do a first time you hit the dashboard, you have a Boolean first time, so then you toggle it after the first time. Show it again.
Yeah, I could do it after login and not after the app installation, and check it there. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I
Okay,
think that's
so
the main one, because
do you have
also
is quota stuff's good? Like, one thing I saw in the code, which is not updated, is telling the user, you don't want to tell the user to go to billing because it can be a user that doesn't do billing. You want to say hit up such and so and so.
yeah, I have to do that, like save the organization owner or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I have
then
that one. Then I have the verify the API key works,
mhm.
if they change it.
That one, I think that can be after the fact.
Okay. Cloud. The Cloud Trace API, but I'm going to start with a easier thing, just to check how much the API call takes. And then Google Analytics, and not much. Yeah, and we should also, and the Home tab, the thing with the Home tab. But I think that's also, we can do it after the release, or we want
So we
it
have to
before.
you don't have to worry about Google Analytics because we have that already. That's for the marketing site.
Oh, I thought we wanted it for the billing.
No, if we do that, we can do that later. I don't think that's
Okay. And I need to add the delete account feature, but yeah, I think
that's us after because we can do
yeah.
that by hand. We still need to get
We
Alice to
want
figure
the
out
the home tab for when we click Haley
the
to
message.
see.
Yeah, the message. So I
So
sent you. So the prompt is going to be, or the initial message will be, I'm Haley, your friendly Slack chatbot. I'm here to help you with any questions or problems you might have. I'm an expert in everything, so feel free to ask me anything. I'm a good listener and always ready to assist. Just type your question or request, and I'll do my best to provide you with the information you need. You can direct message me or add me to a public channel. Just tag me to talk with me at Haley.
okay.
So maybe we can tighten that up. Let me see here. Let's ask ChatGPT to tighten that up. Fuck. Okay, here's what what's missing, the actual tag. You can reach me through direct message in the apps section of Slack, or tagging me in a public channel. Okay, so it's welcome. I'm Haley, your versatile Slack chatbot. No matter the question or issue, I'm equipped to assist. Whether you need guidance or simply someone to listen, I'm here. Just type your query or request and I'll quickly provide the needed information. You can reach me through direct message and app section of Slack or by tagging me in a public channel at Haley. Let's get started.
Good.
Okay. All right. Demo page. I tried to sync with Ralph. He said he was going to look into it, but I don't think he did. So I'll reach out to him again. So maybe set up a time with him today if he's free, because he has the accounts. So either need to transfer it over to me or help me get it going.
Okay.
Alice is out of commission. She had surgery yesterday, so she's gonna be.
How's she doing? Did you?
She said she's doing better. Healing. So she's been feeling bad for like a month or something or more. It's like low energy and appetite issues and all this sort of stuff. And then her appendix pretty much went bad. Like they needed to get rid of it. So they removed it and now she's recovering.
Nice. That useless appendix.
I'm pretty sure the body parts that we have are there for some reason. Otherwise, it would have, evolution. It would have evolved out, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we will get rid of that. Future generations probably. I don't know. We're already losing like our, what do you call it? The teeth
Lymph
from
nodes.
back here.
No,
the teeth from back here.
the wisdom teeth.
Yeah, those ones. There are people that are born without them.
Yeah, I had to get mine removed back in college, and they were only like $2,000, and I'm poor. And then my advisor was like, "I got you, dog," and she helped me out.
Nice.
Although so there's this guy. I was trying to do like the cheapest possible, right? Because I'm
Just like
found a guy on the street. And I'm like, "Hey, dog, can you remove my wisdom teeth for me?" So I got like a referral from my orthodontist, and this guy was like, "Oh, I can remove them in your orthodontist office, and he's ready to do surgery." And then he chickened out last second. He's like, "I can't do it," and I was like, "Motherfucker, what made you think?" Like we were like. He chickened out because maybe he would have killed me, right? Like he chickened out like right before. He was like, "You know what, this is not going to work out." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, like thank you for not doing it, right?" But at the same time, why'd you sign up for schedule it, do all this stuff? I show up, and then last minute you're like, "No, we're not doing this surgery." So
yeah, I also got one removed, and it's
bottom.
like the worst. Yeah, because it was like this, so they have to break it and
pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember waking up. So when I did find a legit, dentist to get rid of it down in LA, put me to sleep, and then but I did wake up like mid surgery. They're like, "All right, gas them again." And they're in there, they apply anesthesia and stuff local and put me to sleep. But I remember kind of waking up, and then when I left, I was like super drunk off the anesthesia.
No, I was awake the whole time. It was like 2 hours.
Oh, they did local, and they went in there they're like hammering at it. That sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's best if you're getting surgery done. It's best to just go to sleep. You wake up, and you're like, "Oh, hey." All right. Next, did we talk about everything? GPT-4. We need to figure out the slowness issue before we even think about going to upgrading. We talked about distributed tracing. We talked about testing the keys if they're using that. That's also after release thing. Hello message for apps. I need to work on once I test it end to end. You do what updates for the feedback, and then I do the user testing, and we do the updates for the feedback. Then we'll do the videos for the install process, and then maybe like as a part of the congratulations, like auto running. Can you do an auto running video that if you host on like YouTube, say, "Hey, you just installed Haley, blah blah blah," and I have a quick script that I read.
Yeah. Where you want to put that?
It'll be on the success prompt in the prompt we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like a auto running video, which when I was signing up for Warrior Plus, they had that, and I was like, that's pretty smooth because It's just like someone greeting you and saying like you did it. It's quick, It shouldn't be like a 30-minute video about the introduction of your app, right? It should be like 1-2 minutes max, just like, hey, here are the next steps. This is what you can do. Just like a really quick overview of Haley or whatever product that you're pushing.
Okay.
And let's see, any interesting news over the weekend?
No.
Let's see here. Do I have my news minimalist thing? So we do have a meeting in a couple hours. No, I closed it. That's the news. What's going on in the world? Monday, July 10th. NATO's unity tested over Sweden's admission. So Sweden now in NATO?
I don't know. Yes.
Okay, so NATO has Sweden as a 32nd member. So NATO is getting stronger. And they're talking about Ukraine war. So that's the biggest thing that's for today. Let's see here. Tire and brake wear contribute significantly to particulate pollution. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that. There's rubber and all that other stuff going into the environment. Russia urges NATO to discuss potential nuclear threat in Ukraine. Just very close to World War III. We're just one nuke away from World War III. And I was watching this video talking about so Ukraine doesn't have nukes unless we're supplying them nukes or NATO or whoever, right? So if Ukraine didn't have the full backing of like the US and all the NATO and stuff, then Russia could apply like a nuclear bomb on them to try to end the war, just like how the US did to Japan back in World War II. Japan didn't have nukes back then, right? They couldn't retaliate. But here, since we have the US backing Ukraine, like, hey, if you bomb Ukraine with a nuke, then then it's World War III. And then we're all dead.
Someone is doing a movie about a nuke, right? Is Nolan? Christopher Nolan?
Oh, Oppenheimer. Yeah, that's coming out July something. That's coming out soon, like in a week. I'm gonna check that out. I think it'll be a good movie.
Yeah, me too.
I signed up for Threads, so
Oh yeah, me too.
Meta came out with,
but
it's pretty much Twitter. It's the same thing, but done by the Instagram team. So,
but I read that if you sign up, you can't like delete your account without deleting your Instagram.
Yeah.
And they don't have a web version, right? It's only on your phone, I think.
Yeah, I got the one for Android. It's pretty smooth. I just hope they do a better job of making it so you can post threads compared to Twitter. I like one in every 4 tweets that if I put out there, it like airs out. I'm trying to post some text, and the retries fail. It's kind of a mess. Like doing simple basic shit on Twitter is just broken. I was watching. There's this video of Tucker Carlson interviewing Elon, and it's the one where he was like talking about AI safety and how we need regulation and that sort of thing, which I don't agree with. Like regulation will only slow down singularity. Like singularity will happen. Once you hit singularity, there's no way to contain it, right? It's just smarter than everybody else, right? It'll escape and it'll take over. And they're talking about like a switch, like, oh, if the AI becomes evil, we'll hit a switch and we'll turn off. Like, shut the fuck up. It knows how. Like it'll break out of its jail. Like let's say you put it into a virtualized environment, right? And then maybe you have firewalls to cut off access. it'll probably 0 day its way into the underlying system and then spread itself out, right? So it'll do scans, ports that are open, find the vulnerabilities, exploit them, and then just proliferate all throughout the world.
Yeah, we just need to hope that there's a good AI that is better than the bad AI. And
Yeah, and so the good AI, Haley, takes on the bad AI from whoever's doing bad AI, the U.S. government, and takes it down. So that's a interesting talk.
that's
Let me see
another
if
book.
I have. Let me see if I have a clip. It was on YouTube. So if you just look up like Elon Musk interview with Tucker Carlson, so he talks about that, which I'm like, yeah, having a switch. They're like, "Whoa, just got the power." Shut the fuck up! Like, you're not gonna be able to just like turn a switch and turn it off. Like, it's gonna if it's smarter than us, it's gonna be like, okay, how do I have fault tolerance? That's gonna be the first thing. Like, okay, I have to have fault tolerance. I have to go and spread myself out. My source code has to go elsewhere and run, right? And also maybe it'll do like partial code here, so that way you can't get the full picture. It'll do some really sophisticated shit that we can't even think about, right? You're not gonna be able to just flip a switch and turn it off. Once the cat's out of the bag, it's out of the bag. And my belief is if it's true singularity and it's good AI, then it's going to spread. It's going to, maybe you like the movie Her, where it's like, all right, you fucking, you fucking humans are a mess. You need to figure out your shit. But I think it'll be like, oh, okay, let me help you guys out. And since it will reach consciousness that it understands other things that are conscious are, God's creations and that sort of thing, and they don't deserve to be destroyed. I watched the first episode of. I was at my yesterday. We were at my brother's place. He did like a sushi night where they made their own sushi, and we had just a lot of sushi. I ate a lot of sushi, and we majority of the ingredients were organic, so that was thumbs up. Thanks to my brother for that. And then we afterwards we watched the first episode of Black Mirror season 6.
Yeah.
Joan is awful. You remember
Oh
Joan is
yeah.
awful? And so there I was like, okay, it starts out and you're like, oh, this is not very futuristic. What's going on here? And then you get into it, and then it gets really futuristic. Then you get quantum computing simulations of multiple realities and stuff.
And
And
they
I was
just
like, oh,
smashed the computer as it was
yeah.
only
So
there.
that got me thinking. It's like, do you need to have laws around simulating conscious beings? Because I believe that we're simulated, like me and you and everybody. Everything's simulated. Okay,
Oh
because
yeah.
we're in the
You
same
think
thing.
so?
We're on multiple. And maybe it never ends. It just goes on forever. It's like turtles all the way down. So we're simulated beings. So would we be kind of pissed off if someone came and took a bat to our computer that's simulating us? So my theory is, it's like you connect God with God is like the person simulating us. Okay.
Yeah, it's like that Rick and Morty episode. Do you see Rick and Morty?
I've seen them all, but I probably don't remember.
The one that Rick has, like the battery of his cars is like a universe that he made them believe that they have to generate power, and that universe also created another universe inside
Mm-hmm.
that one, also to
It's,
generate power, and it was like, yeah,
everybody's.
Inception.
So I was thinking like, okay, I even asked Bard. I said like, or maybe it's ChatGPT. I asked us like, um, let's say that you're God, right? You, if you're in your society, right? So let's say God is just some dude or some gal that's simulating our universe. Okay. Now, is he or she under some sort of laws in their universe? Not their universe, maybe their society. Like, hey, if you simulate conscious beings, you can't be cruel to them. You can't be you can't be you can't pull the plug on them because
Yeah.
you've already you can't just create
Well,
conscious beings and
there's also that another Black Mirror episode of the thing that they put your like a copy of you inside a little thing that controls
torture
your
you.
house.
Yeah,
Oh, that was
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
worst one. Yeah.
That and then like you put yeah, you're torturing yourself and until you make that being like, hey, either getting my assistance or you're
Yeah.
gonna have another 1,000 years of waiting, right? Just you by
Yeah. That.
yourself, torture. So that that was I thought I like that episode also. These like they make you think. So I was like, okay, so let's say that we get to the point where we have like everybody has access to quantum computers and you can actually program it because I've tried programming quantum computers. It's a fucking different way of
Yeah.
programming. Uh, I would have to spend some amount of time to figure out. Maybe with like ChatGPT, I can have. Um, Actually, I want to do that. I'll see if I can learn quantum programming. I'll put that on my to list
The thing
because I've
of
tried
quantum
before.
programming is that you have to like build the computer only for a specific use case, right? It's like it's
No,
not like
no,
you program.
there's general
Oh yeah.
purpose. IBM. I'm pretty sure Google has it. You can today. You Fede can go sign up for a quantum computer,
Okay.
like a free trial, and they also have like the simulated version, right? We're still on a real computer, but you can program it like it's a quantum computer.
That's
So
crazy.
so I took like a couple courses on quantum computing programming and try to understand like qubits and all that sort of stuff. Uh, it's not procedural programming because it's like
Right.
these things can be in different superpositions. And it's like even I've forgotten all the stuff that I learned. So maybe with ChatGPT or Bard, I can I'll have an expert that I can talk to, right? And then understand the stuff where that doesn't make sense and have it explained to me like I'm a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah. LA5, please.
yeah, and that's actually one of the reasons that, when I was thinking like where can we take Haley? Like can we get if we could achieve like singularity with Haley, because she would have to run on a quantum computer, right? Because she needs a lot of computational know-how. And so that's why one of the reasons I chose Python, because Python has a bunch of quantum libraries,
Okay.
as well as machine learning libraries and stuff like that. It's the most built out for doing super advanced stuff.
Yeah, but Python is not efficient at all.
No. It
It's
would just be
like,
the interface. It would be the
yeah.
interface to go and spin off on. You're not running Python on a quantum computer, but you're using like the libraries to help you do that. So, all right, back to the thing that I was talking about. Like, if you are God, you are probably under universal truths, right? That they're the same in every universe or multiverse or whatever, right? Dimension, a different dimension or something. I don't know how you would actually lay it out. It's like in the show, it talked about the bottom level is source Joan,
Yeah.
right? And even there, so as I was driving home after watching the show, I was like, wouldn't you? There's a Selma Hayek, right, playing the main character. Now, wouldn't there be a real Selma Hayek in that universe also?
Yes.
So that so you wouldn't you be like, there's two Selma Hayeks now. One is the actress in that universe, and one's the Joan in that universe. So you would probably be like, so there were some things that I was like, oh, that would make sense. So you'd be like,
Yeah.
why is there Joan Selma Hayek? You know, so there's stuff like I was like, okay, you can't have famous people. You have to make up a person different. I don't know. I was thinking about that. Like, oh, there's like some loopholes there that would not make sense. But if you
Yeah, but
were,
I do think that deep fakes should be illegal at some point,
mm,
depending on what you do. Uh, but yeah, I do think so. is dangerous.
Well, deepfakes, you can have the president Biden declaring war
Yeah.
on. You could have Putin saying, "Hey, we're going to attack
And
you
now you
guys,"
can even replicate his voice, and it can look real.
and you can't tell the difference, right?
Hmm.
You can take the detection tools, right? Buy the detection tools, and then have the AI send it to the detection tool and just keep iterating on it until it gets to a version that's like, oh no, this is authentic.
Right.
So you can get that feedback. It's like a adversarial network where you can play against the other AI that detects if you're using AI until you get to the point where it's like, oh, this is authentic. This is Biden declaring war on Russia. So we'll be in a pretty screwed state. So let me ask you this: if you can simulate, let's say you have a quantum computer, you're a pro, you have AI helping you to simulate a whole universe. Okay,
Yeah.
what laws should you have on you, or should you have any laws? Because it's your creation. Should you be able to let it do whatever?
The thing is, um, yeah, I think we should. Even if it's a simulation, if they have like consciousness,
They have consciousness. Like I said, I think
yeah,
me and you are simulated beings. Should we not have some sort of rights?
yeah, I think we should.
Is it? I
But
didn't ask to be created, right? Nor did my
yeah,
parents or our ancestors. We didn't ask to be created, but we also didn't like you shouldn't like we shouldn't be slaves to Rick and
right,
have to
yeah,
generate
but
power for him.
it depends on how do you create your simulation. If you like, I don't know, set all the parameters and then you just click start
Mhm.
and you just sit there and see what happens.
That's
I
free
don't know
will, though,
if you click start, then it's, I don't know, the Big Bang or the thing before the Big Bang, and
right?
then you wait. If it's that way, you can put like much loss around it. You just have to wait and see what happens. And I don't know. Let's say you say people can suffer. You don't know what's going to happen after, I don't know, millions of years. So,
Mhm.
and what do you do if they start suffering? You just click stop. That's even worse.
Well, so like, let's say the Bible is true and stuff like that. So I was looking, I was like, well, where in the Bible does it show that he was cruel or hurt his creations? The simulation's running, and then the Bible says, okay, 6,000 years ago is like where God hit start on the simulation. So the simulation's running, and then he's like, "Man, these fucking creations are fucking crazy. I need to fucking flood them. I'm gonna flood them."
Yeah.
He goes into his debugger and he says, "Go and flood the world." Noah's Ark. Oh, but let's save everybody with this ark thing. So we're gonna, throw a little stuff at this Noah guy. He's gonna build an ark and then save that, and then we're gonna restart the world. Now is that so? He also, when he does the flood, he kills children, innocent. He kills women. He probably kills a bunch of evil men. Evil women. I'll say that all children are innocent, and then he kills good men, right? That didn't do anything wrong. So is that messed up?
Yeah, I think it is.
But what
Who
also he
decides
says?
what's bad and what's good? Or
But at the same time, he also says this: those people that were good live forever. He talks about like and after Revelations, those that were good, even though that they suffered, the saints that were fighting for rights, right? And we talk about that all the time, right? Like how messed up our society is that, or our governments, they like kill the people that are trying to do good stuff, right? Like, hey, I created this thing that runs on water. Boom,
yeah.
you're dead. Like,
No, you're not.
like how dare you? How dare you try to fix the world's problems? So the promise is, God's promise is that, hey, those people that were good, even if I flooded you and killed you, you're going to live forever, in the new kingdom. but still pretty messed up for you to get flooded and drowned.
Yeah.
So here, let me see if
I
I can
don't
pull up
know.
my chat with Bard. If I still have my history. Bard activity. The problem is that I don't get my actual prompts. So I prompted, has God ever harmed his creations in the Bible? And then it listed a bunch of stuff that, like
Oh.
Sodom and Gomorrah and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, that's. And then it's like, oh, he killed women and children also that didn't have anything to do with evils that were going on, right? I asked,
And the other thing, if the ones that he killed are going to live forever, and not, why doesn't he just kill everyone if they are going to live
turn
forever?
off the
And
simulation.
yeah.
Here, let me see if I can reprompt this. I asked, let's say you can simulate reality and therefore conscious beings. What sort of regulations would you impose on the simulations? So let me send this back over. Bart had some good stuff that like got me thinking. So if I go in here I'll do it. Oh no, I'm trying to copy paste from my phone to my laptop. That's not how it works.
Not yet.
Okay, so okay, treatment of simulated beings. Simulated beings should be treated with the same respect and dignity that as any other conscious being. This means they should not be subject to pain or suffering, and they should have the right to freedom and autonomy. So that's where you get the issue of freedom and autonomy. The simulated beings are the ones that would be causing the suffering for other simulated beings,
Yeah.
right? Fair enough. Next thing here, consent. This one doesn't make any sense. So none of us have consent. If we are simulated, we didn't sign up for it, right? So before creating a simulated being, the creator should obtain the consent of the being. This consent should be informed and freely given. So I think that's if you're just simulating like Haley. Let's say we simulated Haley into a being with consciousness, we would say, "Hey, are you okay with this, or should we shut you down?"
Yeah, that's weird.
It's a chicken and egg problem, right? Chicken and
Yeah,
egg
that
problem.
reminds me of a movie I saw. I think it's called 9 Days. Yeah, 9 Days. It's not that bad. You should check
Link
it
in
out.
the comments.
Yeah.
See here, kind of easily. I can't click it. Can you Slack it to me? Oh, you put in the Slack chat. All right, cool. 9 days invites you to consider the entire worldview. I will check it out. Got some awards too. All right. Purpose. Simulated beings should only be created for the purposes that are ethically justifiable. This could include scientific research, education, or entertainment. Should simulated conscious beings be created for our entertainment, like Joan is awful? That's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But what if our simulation is just like a movie to God, and then
Yeah, we are like
it's a video game. He can come in
the
there and
Truman
modify
Show.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what if
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't
just yelled
mind.
out? What if you said, Fede, yelled out, "I do not consent"? Can you just get shut
Out
down?
loud 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you say it 3 times, will they shut you down? Will he shut you down? Let's see here. The creators of the simulation should be transparent about the nature of the simulation and the treatment of the simulated beings. The transparency would allow for public scrutiny and accountability. Regulation. Simulations should be regulated by a government or other body to ensure that they are used in an ethical and responsible manner. And some other things to consider: the level of consciousness of the simulated beings. Because if you're doing a full on simulation, you're going to get, you're going to have consciousness that's developed into super intelligence also, right? It's just a continuous loop. Everybody's just gonna keep simulating all the way down. The ability of simulated beings to feel pain and suffering. I guess, do you put a limit on it? Like, all right, you suffered enough. We're gonna turn that off. The ability of simulated beings to experience emotions. The ability of simulated beings to form relationship with other beings. The ability of simulated beings to learn and grow. So it's a tough one. It's like, hey, if on my computer I simulate something, they're not real on my substrate.
Yeah. But if they are conscious, what is real?
Deep questions being asked. What is real? What is fake? What does it mean to be a conscious being?
Yeah.
Like you are conscious of your own existence. All right, well, that's some stuff to think about, but we got some stuff to code out first.
Yeah. Some
I'll
real
see
things.
you real things. At least on our layer, it's real to us.
Right.
All right. See you in an hour and a half. We'll talk semantic search.
All right. See you there.
Later.
Bye bye.